Important thing for us to realize is the paradox of Deen and Dunya, which has become a lot of confusion for us in the present times, and people have started saying that we should with Dunya we should also care about Deen, where they put the Dunya outside the Deen. But for us, Deen is the way of living. Deen is how we think. Deen is how we act, and that is in this Dunya. So actually, the antonym for Dunya is Akhirah, not Deen, and Deen is all encompassing both in this Dunya and Akhirah. Right. So normally I ask people, is Dunya outside Deen? And first they become quiet, think, and then they start smiling and they say, no, Deen, Dunya is not outside Deen. And then I ask them, can we live outside Deen for a single moment? And they come up with a very positive reply that not we cannot live out of Deen for a single moment. Okay, so if we cannot live out of Deen for a single moment, how do they put Deen and Dunya as two different entities? Our result in Akhirah will depend on our beliefs and performance in this Dunya. This should be very clear now in our mind. So can we be secular? Iqbal so wisely says that you separate the Deen from politics, from your policies, then Genghis Khan's cruelty will prevail. And this is what we observe right now in what is happening in many of the Muslim lands, the chaos which has been created by the Western nations who believe in separate in Deen, religion, and this life being separate entities. When we talk of Deen, what the Quran says, enter Deen completely and enter Islam completely. Right? And we have got a warning in the sayings of the Holy Prophet, who is quoted as saying, whoever imitates a people is one of them. And this is what is said in the Holy Quran also, that if you follow another people, you will be among them. It's very, very important for us to realize of whatever is happening right now. Inshallah, hopefully you will have a lot of questions regarding this, and I would like you to put these questions, inshallah. I will request the organizers if we can have a separate session for questions and answers, and probably our fourth session before the tools of learning, we can have a question and answer session, because let us see how the organizers arrange it. Quran is very clear about our not following any deen other than Islam. Quran says, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu la tattakhidul yahuda wan nasara awliya'a ba'dhum awliya'u ba'd wa man yatawallahum minkum fa innahum minhum inna Allaha la yahdi al-qawma az-zalimin. O ye who believe, take not the Jews and Christians for your friends and protectors. They are but friends and protectors of each other. And he amongst you that turns to them for friendship is of them. Verily, Allah guided not a people unjust. فَتَرَى الَّذِينَ فِي قَلُوبِهِم مَّرَضٌ يُسَارِعُونَ فِيهِمْ يَقُولُونَ نَخْشَىٰ أَن تُصِيبَنَا دَائِرَةٌ. Those in whose hearts is disease, thou seest how eagerly they run about amongst them, saying, we fear lest a change of fortune bring us disaster. Is it not the condition presently with us? We fear leaving their systems. We are fear. The amazing thing is we don't see Islamic systems being developed. I mean, it's amazing. Inshallah, we'll discuss it later on, maybe in the question and answer session, because I have been looking for opportunities for designing our own systems, my focus being on the learning system or the education system. And I'm amazed that I don't see any a coordinated effort in this respect. And I find a wide field where I'm trying to correct the definitions from the perspective of Holy Quran as far as education and learning is concerned. ولن ترضى عنك اليهود والنصارى حتى تتبع ملتهم قل إن هدى الله هو الهدى ولن اتبعت أهواءهم بعد الذي جاءك من العلم ما لك من الله من ولي ولا نصير. Never will the Jews or the Christians be satisfied with you unless you follow their form of religion. Say, guidance of Allah, that is the only guidance. Were you to follow their desires after the knowledge which hath reached you, then you will find neither protector nor helper against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's very important, and what we are doing right now, you can yourself reflect on that. Let us try to define Deen, because there are many definitions about Deen. The simplest being that Deen is our practices, our way of thinking, our way of analyzing things in this world. Now the question is, whose systems are we following? Whose theories are we following? Are we just try to reflect on this? Are we consuming poison intentionally or unintentionally? Are we following their ways, the ways of Yahud and Nasara, intentionally or unintentionally? Should we be worried about that? It's very important. I mean, the issue is, if we follow their ways, if we follow their systems, and we claim that we are following the Deen of Islam, and we have entered the Deen of Islam fully as has been ordered by our Creator, then we'll be making a big mistake. The another very important aspect which we are very highly confused in, and which you can see many the so-called learned people saying, is there is no logic in Deen. It's amazing. The question I have for them is, can we operate outside our logic? If you want to see a small child, if you want to see what naturally we are designed, how we are designed, you can see it in a small child who will never accept what you say unless it corresponds to his or her logic. So out of logic, we cannot live. It's very important. Out of logic, we cannot internalize things. So if you think we have to internalize Deen, then Deen has to be logic. But the problem is we have to look into the definition of logic. Inshallah ta'ala, we'll touch this in our next session. For this session, I think I have already taken a lot of aspects for you to realize the importance of the perspective, our perception framework in our analyzing things and our conducting our affairs accordingly. Thank you very much. Inshallah ta'ala, I'll be there for the next section shortly.